and hello everybody. Hi everybody. Welcome back to Crafty Crows March 2025. We've got two absolutely cracking headliners. And I didn't get a chance to say it before because my audio wasn't coming through properly, but Finn, your hat is awesome. And you are generally awesome anyway, Paul. Um, if you haven't been here before, though I recognise a lot of familiar faces, let me do a little bit of housekeeping for you generally. So please mute for each poet. You can clap after they've read. Um, Realistically, I will always offer up. Oh, there goes my mouse, which is always really helpful to me. It's like, don't do that. I won't be able to see the screen. Um, please be nice and open and wide and friendly in the chat. Share what you love. Poets who are reading, please do share your book links, funny enough, based on the wonderful conversation we just had. What gigs you're going to, your social media links. We want to hear it. We want to support each other. The event is being recorded, as you heard the robotic lady's voice. So please only share poems that you are happy to class as being published, because they will be on our YouTube site, easily to see, and also attached to the Gloucestershire Poetry Society. So make sure you keep it within the bounds of not family friendly, but at least printable. Open mic poets, please keep to a 3 minute slot. Our dear wonderful headliners know that they've got a little bit longer than that, but that's so we can make sure everyone gets heard. Otherwise, we're going to have to cut things near the end. On that as well, when I'm on screen and sharing information and going back and forth, I'm probably not checking the private chat very much. Please, 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 any updates, any changes, quick the cat's just throwing water all over my screen to Jason. Send it to Jason. I won't be able to see it. Count me as being in front of the mic, comparing directly. Let him know. He'll let me know. And I will deal with. We can always move stuff around. It's never an issue. I've noted everything that people sent me in DM messages. And now, at this point, a little bit too late. So over to Jason for that. And I will take care of following through. Otherwise, I might miss your message while I'm trying to talk to somebody else and make sure they're ready for the next slot. Please use the chat to share your bios, books, and events, as I said. And the Gloucestershire Poetry Society is a volunteer-led society. Please spare a donation if you can. It takes a lot of work. I know this because Jason is fantastic at keeping me in contact. He books people months in advance. He plans. The Gloucestershire Poetry Society is really big on trying to get new voices out there. So if you have got a couple of spare pennies, the world we're in right now, I totally feel it. But if you do, please do feel free to donate, because it just helps us to support the artists we have. Or consider joining as one of the society members. It's a really great way to find out information about events. Funnily enough, we talked about in-people events earlier. There's some in-people event information that comes up on the site, so please do look it up. Information will be in the chat feature for you. And heads up for next time round, Crafty Crows will be back after today. We've only just started, but already we're looking at next time. But Crafty Crows April 2025 feature will be Rian Brook. And May event features Beth Brook. Different Brooks, not related. So just before we get cracking, and what a cracking night we have together today, I'm going to do a piece a little bit about feeling like the middle of transition, because that's kind of how I feel right now. Everything is in the air and everything's on fire. But hey, there's always an opportunity to find new things. So this is New York, Paris, Lost. What language do I speak now? So beguiled in your home tongue, I trove my thoughts as I wallow in new sentences. Coffee tastes strange. Don, zucca, uxakella, no honey lacing anymore, stomping over sweet Z's and S's. Dial tone missed numbers between the noughts and X's. Cities, every city just looks like a labyrinth. Used your rough hand for palmistry as a routeway around this dark but beautiful world. From Arc de Triomphe traffic to losing socks in Central Park, running away from sodden remains, planting a solo flag on a runway. No more triumphant absences, reorientation in city starlight, star signs. Airport staff welcoming strangers. Busy bar at dreary kind of comatose, forlorn in unused old ashtrays. Coming back to brick suburbia, knowing your white day passing, floating in and out of old glances. The envy emerald against the Liffey sought a dazzling fantasy of existence, onward and onward and onward to a new zip code. New York. Paris, Dublin, Casablanca, Hokkaido, Brasilia. Home, 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 home. Who knows anymore?
Yeah.
And with that, we begin our open mic. So we've had a bit of a move around, so just bear with me if I get my stuff back on screen. So, Gerald, Sir Gerald indeed. God, it's been a while. Are you good to begin for us? You are set first, but if you need a second, please let me know.
No, I'm good. I've got three. They're pretty short. I've got my bus pass.
Oh, hey,
Obviously a mistake that
yeah.
led to this poem. To some it may appear to come fully formed, this ancient carving with its bus pass and weekly pension, to have sprung from the ground like some kind of mushroom or a revelation, St. Paul's on the road to Damascus, suddenly old. But underneath there are aches and pains which took years to develop, forgetfulness whose origin is forgotten. And despite old habits to work and prepare for the future, to count down days as if they lasted forever, it is something beautiful indeed to be achieved this moment, laying down a trowel, picking up another one, perhaps. Hiding inside is the little child who holds the memories that turned into this. That's my getting old poem.
Love it.
And this one is in my book. Not sure who I'll dedicate this to. It's in my book. I put the thing in the chat. It's called Caesar's Return. When Caesar came back to Rome again, he brought victory, which all proclaimed. He brought empire and plunder, loot from afar, the piling of triumph on each of these stones. When Caesar came back to Rome again, he brought certainty, euphoria, mob acclaim. So many defeated, so certain our destiny, a pax Romana never to be broken. When Caesar came back to Rome again, his legion of corpses were not on our minds. We bowed our heads. Now they were uplifted. A weighing of sacrifice we agreed was in balance. Still we murdered Caesar, and our adulation did him no good. So I'm going to dedicate that to, well, no, I'll leave it to you. And I'm going to finish because I got this is quite wonderful to me. Some of you will know Benjamin Zephaniah, the wonderful poet who died last year, was 65. So we're planting 65 trees in Birmingham for Benjamin Zephaniah, and each one has got a poem on it. And this poem from me is going on a tree for Benjamin Zephaniah. And I can't feel more happy than that. It's called Where Do You Find? And it goes like this. Where do you find the bumblebee bees? You find them buzzing round tumbly trees. Where do you find the anthill stashes? You find them under wind-still ashes. Where do you find the squirrel's reaches? You find them under wiry beeches. Where do you find robin peck floors? You find them under wood-flecked sycamores. Where do you find a cat called Gus? You find him under a eucalyptus. Where do you find the magpie's old jokes? You find them under haggard oaks. Where do you find the bats from churches hiding at night in silver birches? Where do you find kids with twig-struck knees up in the branches of the best climbing trees? Where do you find that the fun is all done when where the trees once stood and now there are none? When you've lost a tree, where do you put another one? Where the trees once stood, but now there's baking sun. And I'll dedicate that to people who want to strip clear trees. No names mentioned. Thank you very much. That's me.
Hey, Gerald. Woo! Thank you for a wonderful opening, good sir.
Wow.
Right. Old friends, old friends, old friends, old friends. Let me
Wow.
just get back up on the screen here. Sorry, guys, I take it off screen so I can focus and I have go, oh, where am I? Pulaski, hey. I had
Hello.
your lovely chat earlier. Great to see you again, man.
Good to see you. Great to be here.
Hey.
Yes. I guess I'm just going to share one poem, and it is a poem in progress, but it's not something I don't mind sharing because the purpose of the poem is going to be goes beyond just trying publication, so I don't mind it being read. And so the title of the poem is Let It All Burn. What do I do with this anger, this shadow storm stirring the blood dust of my ancestors, this spark igniting a consuming fury, uninformed, propagandized, the gas-lit groupies elect a crook to the highest office in the land, while a Black man is executed in Missouri and another in North Carolina, as pleas of leniency are ignored, dissolve, disappear in a chasm of chaos. I am becoming an inferno, embodiment of a scorching burn, not a phoenix rising, but a dragon with a belly full of fire, waiting to exhale. The villagers, with their torches, pitchforks, prejudices, disdain for differences, have wrapped themselves in privilege and money. They are coming. I can hear them yelling, screaming, a wave of sound sweeping across the divided land to silence voices of sacrifice, to blow away legacies of the courageous dead, to make those like me invisible before complete erasure. What do I do with this anger, this fire of frustration? How do I mourn the loss of the dreamer, making way for the dream, making way for the dragon? All that I know is that I am weary of hoping for better angels who apparently have better things to do. So I am inhaling, roaring with breaths of fire, shouting to the new order, let it all burn.
And absolutely stonking is how you came through. So you say it's still a work in progress. I'd love to see what the final version of it is. Hi, all, can you still hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
we
cool.
can hear
I was
you.
gonna say,
You're good.
Yeah.
We were stunned into silence. We were stunned into silence.
I was gonna say I would love to hear the final version. You said that's a work in progress currently.
Yes, yeah. I'm sorry, I was on mute. I didn't realize. Yes. Yeah, it's something I'm
Ah,
working on.
I would love to hear the final version. It sounds at current version is awesome. Good sir.
Thank
That's
you.
all I'm gonna say. Right. Well, dear Leslie and Martin, if you are happy to take the mic, it is all yours. Well, I hope you both are doing all right.
Yep, we're doing fine.
Yay.
Oh, wow. So happy to be here. Yeah, lots of my book that's been hatching for quite some time is inching towards being published, and title change requested and granted. And it's now Border Songs, A House Without Walls, and Love Poems to Mexico. And we all know that the border is of interest to yes, right now. And hate to say that Zelensky's sort of taking the hit that Mexico was, but it's taken the onus off of Mexico for a little bit. So the first poem of the book is called The Border Song. So here it goes. We stand at the border, hands touching, the steady whisper of the gods in our ears. Our fingers flutter, tentative, not sure. They touch. The hands open and grasp each other, the fingers entwine. This is how it should be. This is how it is. Your hands are brown, mine white. I am yours. I will cross over. Trading places, we are each other. We are the same. You will go north, I south, and we will not look back. We will travel to each other's place, to the place of our hearts, the heart's home, not an accident of birth, not the home we choose, but our choice. Exchanging vows, we become each other. You white, I brown. I will travel south, you north, with the steady whisper of the gods in our ears. And the next poem that I'm going to read is about the very famous colonial city called San Miguel de Allende. And yep, I'm a beat poet associated with the beats since Ginsberg was a hero of mine when I turned 16 in the summer of love. And all the beats, or many of them, lived in San Miguel de Allende. And one of them died there. So anyhow, a lot of history in San Miguel de Allende. So this one is dedicated to the amusing pilgrimage that I undertook quite some time ago to go to San Miguel. San Miguel de Allende. They said, "Oh, the light. You have to see the light." And we followed, and there it was, as Ginsberg said it would be, climbing slowly and climbing imperceptibly and climbing, crunching tires and car metal responses at increments into the potholes that Ginsberg didn't talk about, nor anyone else. But that black chick on MTV Road Rules who got exited, fired, shown the door for being too real or maybe too black. Potholes and San Miguel, not what you talk about together. The glamour thing that conscripts all visiting gringos into the army of silence and gentle lies that violate nothing except what's real. Breathtaking San Miguel, not a pothole in sight. The pothole and its realness, our secret about the road to San Miguel. We embrace the pothole. We sing the private songs in our heads and go down the road. The holy smile rests behind the hand. Indulgent. Foolishness is good like God, and we laugh, going fast in the wind, with the truck drivers steady at the wheel, bouncing with the potholes, with their crates of chicken stacked high, so high, or the small army of smiling, waving workers in the back, clinging to the sides of overhanging metal cages, handsome faces framed by flapping blue escaped awnings, excited by the wind and freedom. They knew. We thought we were there already, over and over again, plains and fields and above, by turns, dimmed and revealed by changing light, the atmospheric mountains always somehow in the distance, no matter how close we came, almost touching and still not there. I'm still not there, but I am always in the act of going, of becoming the changing light on the mountains and traveling to San Miguel de Allende. And this poem is I Will Not Take a Camera. And this is when I arrived in San Miguel and I visited the very, very famous parroquia. Beautiful place. One, I like my eyes. I like how my eyes work upon entering rooms, rooms that are vast or small, rooms that are indifferent. The light full throttle, the light piercing my eyes, or the light that is hushed, reverent, and gentle. It doesn't matter. I am given precious time. I ask for precious time. I have the precious time, the slow time of my senses. I give myself this time so my eyes adjust imperceptibly moment by moment and my heart beats more slowly and I become part of the room. Through my eyes, I see everything as it should be in space, swimming with my slow breath, keeping time with my heart, keeping time with the abundant trails of smell or whispers, points of light reflected, refracted, circling slowly as my eyes work with great love and persistence, as it should be and as it is. The sounds I hear in my wrists humming with the thick bones at my waist, which with its dense flesh, my ankles reminding me of how I walk or how I love to dance, the quiet gasps and sighs from my eyes, coming to me, humming with the bone, the flesh, the small and personal songs sung to me in my dreams. And even now, by all the people in the rooms I walk through every night with my eyes closed, are my eyes telling me that I see? I will not take my camera. That quiet, the gasps and sighs in a room, whether mighty or humble, are my eyes telling me that I see echoes of other senses at play, influencing the pictures my eyes take in, my eyes create. I will not take my camera. 2. Salgado, Goldelka, all saints at the moment, because the camera was there, we accept as truth that cancels out the mystery of the eyes as a sensuous entity. War shots, pictures of you, pictures of Lily, the baby firstborn, cancel out the memory of the church, the parroquia of San Miguel, the wounded saint the nurses pray to, the smells of hot wax, of the lily in excess, the piss that darkly stains the parochia steps. The picture cancels out the smell. I don't know. They're okay. Maybe echoes of other senses at play and influencing the pictures. Maybe not. Close crop, perfect compositions, a balance of contrast, line, form, volume that zeroes in constantly, zeroes in on perfection and edits out the rest that lies because my eyes don't really see that way. A falsification. The photography is a standard we've been bullied into accepting as true about how the eye works. Where do these come from? Or belong these images separate from smell, from taste, from bitterness or perfume? Where do I go now? Everywhere, from anywhere, relaxed and paying attention? Where will I go anywhere and always and travel and see only what my eyes see, and that will be enough? I will not take a camera. So that's it for me.
As always, absolutely beautiful, Leslie.
Thank you.
And as I imagined, followed beautifully in duet with Martin, I think.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Let me just say first that he reads in Spanish because that is his native tongue. He's Mexican. And then I follow in translating it into English for English speakers.
So my first poema is called Respuestas. Las respuestas están en el centro del aire que respiramos, en nuestro entorno, dentro y fuera. Suelen aparecer como un huracán o torbellino. A veces son tan tranquilos que no se sienten, mas sí inquietan. Entre más fuerte nos cuestionamos a nosotros mismos. Somos como los árboles. Unos se derriban por la fuerza del viento, cayendo y son olvidados. Otros se resisten y luchan hasta el final y encuentran respuestas. Unas no son convincentes, otras nos lastiman más. Pero miles nos convencen erróneamente, mas está en nosotros decidir qué nos conviene más para comprender mejor quiénes somos y qué queremos en nuestro vivir día a día. Entonces, nos manejamos por lo que más nos conviene y convence. Así suavizamos nuestras dudas, mas siempre será un misterio preguntarnos quiénes somos, qué quiero, a dónde voy y la más fuerte, por qué nací y cuál es mi destino. Mi propósito es ser mejor, ser amado y amar. Mi preferencia es ser aceptado, pero no moriré por lo contrario. Más bien, trabajaré para que eso pase. aunque lo mejor sería aceptarme a mí mismo tal como soy. Solo vivir y hacer el bien sin mirar a quién y sin esperar nada a cambio, porque eso llegará solo. De las personas que me aman, respetan y aceptan como soy. De verdad, así sentiré el aire fresco en mi cara y en mi alma.
Okay. So the poem is Answers. The answers are in the center of the air we breathe, in our environment, inside and out. They often appear like a hurricane or whirlwind. Sometimes they are so calm that they are not felt, but they disturb. The stronger we question ourselves, we are like trees. Some are knocked down by the force of the wind, falling and forgotten. Others resist and fight. There is the end, and they find answers. Some are not convincing, others hurt us more, but thousands convince us wrongly. But it is up to us to decide what is best for us to better understand who we are and what we want in our daily life. Then we manage ourselves by what combines and convinces us the most, and thus we soften our doubts, but it will always be a mystery. Ask ourselves, who are we? What do we want? Where am I going? And the strongest, why was I born? And what is my destiny? My purpose is to be a better loved being and to love. My preference is to be accepted, but I will not die for the opposite. Rather, I will work for that to happen, even though the best thing would be to accept myself as I am, just live and do good without looking at who, without expecting anything in return, because that will come along from the people who love me, respect me, and accept me as I really am. That way I will feel the fresh air on my face and soul. Beautiful, Martine.
Thank you. The second is called Hoy no. Hoy no podemos comer las cosas que nos lastiman o salen mal. Las emociones, sorry. Hoy no podemos comer las cosas que salen mal, las emocionales, sentimentales y las tristezas, porque nos dañan, lastiman y matan el alma. Y nos cuesta tanto poder digerir. Tampoco deberíamos justificar nuestras malas acciones como resultados de lo que nos pasa en nuestras vidas, mucho menos repartir frustraciones a quienes no saben qué pasa y nos aman. Aquellos que comparten tiempo, paciencia y amor como esfuerzo en tiempos adversos y así también de alegría y de nostalgia, que no tienen espacio a la ironía o hipocresía, aquellos que como yo damos espacio al diálogo y a la coherencia, hablar, discutir, pelear y luego finalmente dejarlo ir para luego poder convivir en paz y en armonía. Lejos de respirar culpas, amarguras y tristezas a otros que no tienen la culpa. Por eso te digo, amor mío, que es sencillo y que no vale la pena estar triste, irritable con el mundo o con otros, tampoco conmigo. Solo vive la vida, dilo, manifiéstalo y déjalo ir. Pero sé honesta, amiga mía, que una vez que lo hayas dejado ir, se fue y ya no regresará. Solo así tú, si solo así tú lo quieres, siempre regresará y te atormentará a ti, si así tú lo quieres. Mas solo deseo verte vivir feliz y en paz y no veo nada malo en eso.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to translate that into English. So this one's called Today Not. Today we cannot eat the things that go wrong, the emotional, sentimental, and sad things, because they harm us, hurt us, and kill the soul, and it is so hard for us to be able to digest. Nor should we justify our bad decisions as a result of what happens to us in our lives, much less distribute frustrations to those who do not know what is happening and love us. Those who share time, patience, and love as an effort in times as rough as joy and nostalgia, who have no room for irony nor hypocrisy, those who, like me, give space to dialogue, to coherence, to talk, to argue, to fight, and then finally to let it go so that we can live together in peace and harmony. Far from sharing blame, bitterness, and sadness to others who are not to blame. That is why I tell you, my love, that it is simple and that it is not worth being sad, irritable. Be with the world or with others, not even with myself. Just live life, say it, show it, and let it go. But be honest, my friend, because once you have let it go, it is gone and it will not come back. Only if you want it that way. It will always come back to you, torment you, if only that is what you want it to be. But I only want to see you live happily and in peace, and I see nothing wrong with that. So that's it for us. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Thank you so much, both of you. The duet that forever keeps dancing and changing and dancing. And because of a wonderful story that Martin told me recently when I got to meet these two lovely people face to face, it is that they met in a club in which dancing happens a lot. So they will forever pas de deux together. And love you both. I really do. So leading off so softly from that, Ron, are you ready to perform? For the mic is yours.
Sure. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Before I start, or before I read, I want to mention I was very, very lucky this Saturday to be in a workshop run by a woman who not only won the Walt Whitman Award from the Academy of American Poets, she also won the Emily Dickinson Award uh, from the Poetry Society of America. So that was fantastic. And I learned a lot. I thought I knew something about poetry. I came away thinking I got a lot to learn. So, and Genevieve, thanks for warning me about being on YouTube. So I'll only do published work. Thanks. Put on the barks done black and walks into the corridor, while the chaste and the unchaste alike heartily approve the habit of your sin. Your skin, wet from a summer breeze, reacts in ways you wouldn't have imagined, peels gently like the bark you remember in rogue desire, a little raw beautiful. You are the way your secret chimes peel. And my second and last piece. This is called Untitled. Drained and hollowed, clawed and chiseled, you grate against the real. Now we're mining the cosmic vector of contagious souls, contagious in their wholesome nature, and it's all too much for a desultory wanderer like me. But you and your mellifluous lover can see over the bridge of my nose, and it's like moonbeams shooting across the black-brown sky to someplace where their wholesomeness can't infect me, and I can be a happy child wandering again in this strange world of colors and cognitive sequences. So thank you all and have a pleasant evening.
Kicking, Ron. Nice work. And also lovely to meet you for the first time, may I say. Hope to see your work more to the future. And talking about meeting people for the first time, Sarfraz, it is yours. Thank you for the ad on the social medias, much appreciated.
Oh,
If you'd like
brilliant.
to
Thank
take a
you.
mic, sir, run away with it.
Right. First, I've got to say thank you to Jason he kind of got me here, to be fair. I kind of put a request in and he said, Safraz, come on board. So I'm really, really happy to be here. I'm going to read from a book, it's got a lovely title, which is called Stab the Pomegranate. What a wicked title that is. Stab the Pomegranate. And I think you'll hear my influences through these two pieces. The first one is called Don't Judge Me. Don't judge me with your bitter, twisted eyes. Look beyond the outer layer. Look beyond the disguise. See my reflection burn gently upon your retina as I fly, propel myself, navigate through time and space. Don't try to shoot me down with your bullets and guns and all you throw my way. Watch them as I hold them in my fist. Watch them as I begin to decay. I'll try to take it all that you have to give. I'll hold it all in my tender fist. I'll hold it tight until there's nothing left of me. I spur it in my heart as I spiral, as I rock and roll. You try to beat me down, you try to take control. You try to make me falter, you try to make me break. But look into my eyes and you'll see that I've had all I can take. Thank you. And that's called Don't Judge Me. Thank
Pop,
you.
pop that book back on screen for us, so you can see it.
Oh, sorry, it's a bit battered. I use this for open mics. So
Hey,
it's called
good.
it's called Stab the Pomegranate.
Hey, I love the title. I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
it's
go for
a
it.
yeah. So I use it on open mics, and it's scribbled, and it's got beer stains and everything everywhere. I was at an open mic on Monday, and I've got another thing in America after this. So I do got a lot of stuff in the US. So anyway,
Oh,
um,
fantastic. Well, thank you for being here and popping on by as well. But yeah, make sure if you haven't, I think you have already, but make sure your link's up there so we can see.
yeah, definitely. And you could go, and if you just want to just see what I've got on offer, just go onto Instagram or just Google my stuff on YouTube, and sometimes it pops up everywhere. Have I got time for one more?
Oh yeah, I think so. Jason, are we good for one more? Oh, I'm getting. I think that's a yes. I'll just double check with
Oh, is
Jason.
that a yes? I've got a
Yeah.
very quick.
Yes. Yep. Go for it.
Okay, so that was called Don't Judge Me, and I'm going to leave you with two chairs. Two chairs are all that are left of us. Two chairs covered in dust. Some birds from the long summers and lazy days. When we'll sit side by side, our two worlds would collide. Sometimes you'll smile and our eyes would meet. On two chairs we'd sit, eat, laugh, and play. We'd be together through the day and through the night. You take my hand, and together we'll stand. You'll pull me closer and we'll dance together, come rain or shine. Two hearts would intertwine. I look into yours and you'd look into mine. I thought you'd be mine forever, you and I, flying in the heavens in the night sky. But when I look out of the window, all I see are two chairs sat in the garden. Two chairs, a constant reminder of what we used to be. Two chairs that contain our history. That is all that is left of us. Two chairs covered in snow. Two chairs from a past long, long ago. Thank you.
Oh,
Oh no, it's sad. It's very
wonderfully
sad.
romantic. I love it. Hey, don't even. That was gorgeous. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
bless you. Thank you so much for listening. And I love everything. So thank you.
It's a pleasure. And just before we hit our first headliner with Finn, my sister in Tesoro, the fellow queen on the stateside who began the organisation that sets fire to the world. Dearest Stacey, if you are happy to, the mic is yours before we hit our headliner. Do you want to burn it down?
I'll see what I can do. I am a sister to my soul, and a danger to those who cannot see past the lies created by their history. I am a woman of color in a place that has dismissed, vilified, made dangerous the paths, the roads I walk, and ignore the path I make for the rest of the world. I hurt on my own time. I cry in shadows because I have things to do like nothing but triumph forever, because I know how to push back, push back, push back. I don't have time for threats. I make promises. So you better step, run, hide, messing with me and mine. You better step, run, fly, messing with the world we are bleeding to hold together. You better step, run, fly, disappear when we start using all of everything we have inside. Stories, spirit calls, songs. I might cry in shadows, but I bring my sword, shield, battle plan into the light. So do right or get gone. Because I am a sister to my soul and I got things to do. And I know how to push back, push back, push back.
Would you like to do us one more, or my dear sister?
Oh yeah, there's one more in the chamber.
Yes, I'm moving away.
From the time I was a little girl, I heard two things: be more, be better. Whether it was dress, behavior, speech, grades, whatever it was, as a girl, I was expected to be more, be better. See, you were told boys could slough off. It was okay because boys would be boys, but girls had to be women. You weren't even given that choice of an in-between. We had to know how to take care, be strong, take care, be present, take care, pull the race forward, take care, be more, be better all the time. I would have enjoyed hearing at least once, be more about yourself. Be better about doing things for you. I would have enjoyed hearing at least once, be more appreciated. Be more better about who you let into your heart and your life and your bed. I would have appreciated hearing just once, you don't have to be more of anything or better at everything. You are a Black woman. Let them come to you. I don't see that happening anytime soon. And I am sorry too. I am sorry for my little sisters who grow up under the burden of be more, be better, be more, be better, be more, be better, because it is never going to be for us or to us. We are world over, centuries older, the hand that rocks the cradle. We are somewhere in the background of every man who has ever taken power. We are the strong ones, the unassailable ones, the ones who keep on going, keep on kicking, keep on ticking, keep on fighting. We have to do more. We have to be better because the world collapses without us. We have to do more. We have to be better because we know in our blood and bone that civilization does not exist without us. We have to do more and be better just to stay one step behind. And all that do more, be better guarantees nothing. We are still paid 69 cents on the dollar. We are still ignored as if we do not exist in policy and opinion. When we are assertive, then we are bossy and aggressive. When we are demanding of our rights, we are unfeminine troublemakers. When we, God forbid, express an opinion that does not fall into lockstep with whatever the current thought and policy is, never mind that said policy affects our health, our rights, and our bodies, we are called traitor, ingrate, bitch, and weak. We are none of those things. We are simply forever trying to be more, be better, be more, be better, be more, be better, be more, be better.
As always, there is no conversations left. There's no messages left because everything's on fire because you've burned down with emojis. Absolutely stonking. Thank you for speaking what are a lot of our minds right now, dear sis, and bringing up perfectly for our headliner. Apparently, he has changed mode for he is standing up. I thought he was here to do poetry. But it is time for our dear, dear Finn Hall. Let me read his bio. So Finn Hall is the new Pitsligo-based poet and artistic organiser extraordinaire with an awesome hat. He hosts Like a Blot from the Blue, a poetry and spoken word event transcending the boundaries of physical and digital, welcoming hundreds of creators from across the globe. On stage, Finn performs with a beautiful sensitivity. Couldn't agree more. He isn't afraid to breach upon themes of old age, hope, love, and loss, but reserves a potent and fiery attitude against injustice. He's also a filmmaker, collaborative writer, and publisher. He has 2 solo collections. Once Upon a Time There Was, Now There Isn't, published by Runcible Spoon, and over 18,000 years in the making, published by Like a Blot from the Blue. Finn is the International Beat Poet Laureate for Scotland. He's your friend and mine. We do adore him. Please raise your hands, open your mics. Ready for Finn? Woo!
I never wrote that biography, by the way. Someone did it for me. All right, could take it through this. I've got started with 3 or 4 new ones, and then go into part of a longer set of film I'm trying to do called At My Age, which celebrates being the age I am, which isn't young. So this one's called Paper Mache Pipe Dream. Rarely, but now a time when my confidence is parchment paper thin, and the cold outside permeate within the very bones that support me, grown like an unfinished, out-of-tune symphony, showing no sympathy to the situation my dislocation is. An uninterrupted sleep disguises the constellation of my thoughts and the need to share, and be oblivious to those who skip past. It's not an urgency, but what rattles like the aging osseous matter is the superficial rainfall that tried to wash me away, as if my existence is only paper mache pipe dreams, an afterthought in the pretend hierarchy. Tomorrow, though, I shall see the sun as it's meant to be, as it's meant to do, drying out the dampness of the solitary day, and finish the notes in order as they're meant to be, in harmony, and playing loud and clear the song and melody of my reality. And this one's for the arsehole across the waters. It's called Exploding Paper Straws. There's a gulf of common sense while dense people play golf, and hell is but a short step away. Inadequate fools fool the poor that the rich know, and are better and always right in the things they do and say, despite the obvious truth, the fact they think that life is wasted on foreign youth, or of any age, or colour, female, different gender, or none. Separating things in the blender, plucking out the shards of life from between the teeth of human persistence, writing dreams of existence to satisfy the greed, and they will bleed the very soul of every decent situation. And one day, the nation will wake up dead. And those that write the headline stories cower behind their column inches as the 5th one marches on. Jackboots disguise the sports shoes, suits as black as the times we live in. Cameras hang on their every word, no matter how absurd their garbled spewings sound. And MAGA hats worship the ground they contaminate, even as the relations are deported, sacked, or otherwise evaporated. The rest remain scared, unsure, rich or poor, with only conclusions that the world, well, those who care, as that loose ends need to be tied up and dumped somewhere they will never be found. How does that sound, you fascist bastards? This one's called Cobra, but a friend of mine suggested I should call it The Last Milkshake. So either way. Snake Eye Corner, rundown diner, deserted in the desert like some forgotten cameo in a wasted, shallow movie. Sharing the best years of your lives, shaded beyond the memories of the last milkshake before the sun went down. Strung up in a hangover hollow cause, negotiating your way out of negativity, and endless other shared sister cheroots. as you hang about by the cardboard boxes by the half-shut knife halfway house. And now you sit in a temporary Mexican retreat, never forgetting where you started, with the trials and tribulations of corner coke dealers, down and low, Bleecker Street, couch surfing, seems so long ago. Only some of them are gone, whilst others are scattered to the wind, bleeding in the dusty landscape, where the matching tables and rust-backed chairs share evening silhouettes with the cacti. The last stop before the next stop, which is no stop, the Amnesia Hotel. And too many forsaken neighbourhoods in the journey of your life, calculated and separated, reality with a side of pickles and endless refills with or without the sour cream, helplessly hoping that the coffee grains of uncertainty have dried out enough to vanish into nature. Gritty, goes without saying, worn out slabs is your lifestyle choice. And no one ventures too near the barbed bare wires which are safely out of reach. It's not a risk, just choices you've made, and not a post-apocalyptic night storm that blew away the doubts and aspirations, equal in discernment and fulfilment. Like another turn for the sultry. Not the worst place to be. At least the cheese is fresh. This one, yeah, partly in a dream. This one was actually genuinely partly written at a funeral of a neighbour. It's called The Colour of Dreams. Woke up in a cold sweat in a town I didn't know. Unfamiliar places, partially recognized names of people who they aren't. It's a shut town, shut up faces, shut up shops, twisting roads and alleyways that even Ginsberg would have a hard time with. As my one step go lightly breezing down coffee shop, whorehouse avenues where creatures in scarlet blouses try to wake me from the direction I'm heading. Hey, I know what you're up to. You want me to leave the comfort of my mindset and follow the light under the bridge? I'm not falling for that ruse. We've all been there. Now, when I can't sing and I can't play ball, and I'm not sure about traversing down this hall, it's too long for just one night, right? And haunted Ethiopian castles, if such a thing exists, reveal themselves as the fog clears, like a Grecian monastery on an island of dozens, surrounded by an ocean of jellyfish as the tourist boat offers splendid viewpoints of a memory I once had. But I don't fly. I never could. I never wanted to. Neither does the hooker who lived by the motto, life, liberty, and the pursuit of a penis. Catbite stirring deep puzzles, wondering who let him in with his Cheshire grin and malignant looks. As I represent myself at a funeral of a neighbour, sitting in the cushioned pews not meant for 21st century backsides, and the organist plays Fairy Tale of New York. And irony missed by many, as chilly morning Christmas cards arrive in unfamiliar streets. No smells as fireflies burn, awakening face down in the pillow, remembering nothing of the things I wrote. Right, this is the start of the Act My Age, sections from Act My Age. A lot of older poems, you may have heard them before. And this first one's called Skin, and it's about me. They're all about me, basically. Skin. You just see the skin, not the one who lives within. You see the spots and scars and wrinkles, cuts, freckles and hair, without an idea who exists in there. Why only look with your peripheral vision, not knowing what this septuagenarian outer shell disguises. Hope you don't mind surprises. You just don't know. I'm the happy loner in the crowd. You just don't see. I have one tattoo, that's all. A taint upon my well-worn shell, you think? I could probably walk you under the table. If it's too hilly, I'm less able, but... And this is a big but. Don't jump to any conclusions. The smooth-faced skin will adjust an illusion. I've earned the tears and bumps and gashes that creeping, crawling time surpasses. It only tells you what you see. I keep within the real me. I'm deaf, a bit blind, but I don't mind. My glasses help me read a book, and like me, you may discover that old adage. Don't judge a book by its cover. Hardcover, softcover. I can be both, inside, bubbling up, troubling up, boiling still hairs. No, I'm fine in this skin. In this skin, neither thick nor thin, a human being lives within. Surface-wise, I may look fine, but underneath the muscle mass, the nerves entwine, twisting, coiling, angst and pain, inside, outside, not the same. Not the same. You just don't know. You go flux. Somewhere in my past there's a future waiting to be found, the sound of memories, some broken or littered on the ground. My head recoils at thoughts unkind, a life that happened whether you want it or not. The spot that never heals, conceals many flaws and laws you never knew existed. Watch out. Well, I've caught up with you, taking you unawares as you stared into the abyss, trying to see what you might become. Long past scared, and crimes with rhymes from time still to be, awaken the dead who are yet to be born, and forlorn hopes and dreams that in the future you had, erasing time before it gets here. But the truth is, there is no journey. We're all arriving and departing at the same time. If you think, therefore you will be, as you are before, as the door to the past is the portal to the future, where sutures help to seal the wound, but some time alone heals them. You can scheme and plan and try to escape. Best is yet to come, and even ornate calm in you, or you will know that tomorrow is the question. Answer when you can, if you haven't already. Time is flux. It breathes in many places, checking you out as you check in. It will play with you, toy with you, and all the while keeping its eye on you, keeping time, dancing to the same song. And not everyone remembers the music, but I do, and I can put the needle back on the turntables. It's not sliding doors. It's not a fork in the road. It's not a choice. Is that a flashback, flash forward to another time, or the same space? The lives we lead are like tracks and fallen leaves. The glitches that appear in your reality are just ripples. No ghosts. No mysterious shadows. It's neither here nor there, nor is, and was. Death isn't the song's end, just punctuation. Well, this one's called 1,000 Shades of Grey, or Why Hawaiian Shirts Are Only Worn at Stag Nights. I was sitting in a TGI Fridays the other day. Don't judge me. The limited choice of vegan eateries in this area is poor, but it all fits with this. I passed a comment to June. There's a severe lack of individuals in this city. Her agreement was instant. Its people are monotonous regardless of race, colour, creed, and they may bleed red, but most look as if their insides are dead. Whether they're going to bingo or classes to learn another lingo, they lack invention in their style, and all the while my eyes seek colour, a journey or adventure, in guessing their intention. The city is more multicultural than the past, and each passer-by looks the same as the last. Except one, in a royal blue dress, tutu, and bright-coloured sneakers, seeing things with active peepers. She was young, preschool, I guess. And when she gets older, will she just look like the rest? Teenage girls with the latest fashion, looking like each other without obvious passion. It's what they do, I surmise. All greys and black and blue jeans and hoodies, wanting to be just like everybody, wanting to be the same. Summer floral frocks because that's all the shops stock. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no revolution. There's only Primark. I mean, what are you hiding? Why are you hiding? You don't have to stand out from the crowd. You don't have to dress very loud. Ridiculous. That's not the answer, not the way. Dare to be individual. That's what I say. So after all this, what is my conclusion? Is bland just an illusion, and peel back the sports band, joggers and sameness? Well, See a butterfly emerge, brightly coloured flapping wings. I have my doubt about such things. The revolution will not be streamed. There will be no revolution. There's not even Topshop now. Only Primark. I'm called 72. That's how old I am. I don't write as a young man. It's been a long time since I've been there. And if the young man should ever shout, "Hey, old man," I will smile and be happy. But I wonder how many of them will get to be the recipient of that short shout. To have seen and been seen is what I have with me, and that can never be taken away. That age holds on to the recall of the young man I once was, without regrets or apologies, secrets, not lies, and some surprises along the long time past. I don't look back in anger at the stranger I once was. The difference stems from knowing, learning, mistakes along the way, decisions and some small derision, mostly in my mind. Self-confidence lacked back then, back when. So here we are, top of the family tree, with younger roots and branches below, trying to know what they don't know yet, discovering their way to reach this age. I'm not so young, and yet not old. This one's called Conclusion of Illusion. Oh, what a fickle world the world of poetry is, pedestal so high for some and self-placed by others, looking down on those who don't offer you obsequiousness. Going round and round and round, same faces, same sound, same gangs, ignoring the masses, with words that passes for being smart. They think it comes from the heart, but in reality it comes from the ego. The self-proclaimed guardians of the written word, mumbling on in the small world they live in, the slurred speech, verbal assaults, while in no ways bad, but neither as good as you think. Commonality, backslapping, same old, been there, done that. Don't you ever get bored? Fickle world of poetry is just that. It's the world, the wide, wide world, more than your street, your town, your county, country even, more than your friends list or who you were pissed with last night. Important as that is, it's not inclusive, it's not divisive. Or is it? If you don't include? Your illusion of self sitting on the top shelf pretending you're top dog on the whole hog on your way to post of fame, among other names you should be nowhere near. I don't move in your circle. I get claustrophobic there. Not I dislike all the ingredients in that sphere, but I neither need nor want to be. I want to make that clear. Step inside. Right. Time for a couple more, I think. Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, here we go. This one is this is part of a book that was done a couple of years ago, and it's called I Bequeath. And the poems were all about bequeathing things, and I got bitter, but funny. Anyway, it's called I Bequeath. I bequeath to my mother all the lost confidence I had as a child and as a teenager, until my midlife crisis when I bought 2 pairs of Cuban-heeled winkle picker boots to be able to walk and hold my head up high in public. And then at 65, I learned to stand up on a stage and take command. To all the grippy passengers in over 45 years of taxi driving that waited for their 10 or 20 pence change, especially waiting staff who boasted about all the tips they made that night and then left none. Guys on big business account, those asking for a receipt for more than the fare, but only paying the fare. I wrote the correct price down and then signed names like Mickey Mouse or Adolf Hitler. To you, I leave the steam off my shite, the same steam I wouldn't give to the folk I know and don't like. To students, fucking students who expect to use your car as means of flitting, moving house, moving boxes and bags and pillows and dragging all their earthly belongings, and some devilish ones as well, into the taxi, expecting to just pile them up inside on the seats and floor, squeezing tight the fucking door, relocating just the next street down, just standing there, mouth agape as I'm expected to pack the boot. I bequeath to you a shopping trolley, the one you used originally to wheel your pal home with the traffic cone. I leave to those who take me for granted this plastic bag in which I've just farted, a reminder of the stench you leave after using me and getting me to believe that you appreciate my work. Instead, you were just a jerk, doing it for your own sake and making me just another step. And finally, I bequeath to my first wife, who buggered off on her daughter's third birthday, taking all the cigarettes and cash and leaving our 2 kids with me that the social work tried to take. Over my dead body, I said. You get nothing, just a hole in the ground which I hope is damp and dank and full of all the darkest thing that the rest of your selfish life may share. If you're not already dead and cause such torment in your head. Then again, if it were not for then, I may not be where I am right now. But still, enjoy the whole. Thank you.
Very, very wonderful. Thank you for your bow, good sir. Absolutely storming. Dearest friends, would anyone like to offer a lovely little note and thank you to Mr. Finn, please? Mr. Hall. Well, I'll definitely be first on that. That was absolutely freaking awesome. Thank you, Finn. Thank you for being, and thank you for speaking straight truths as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Needed to be said. Needed to be absolutely said. You are a absolute rock star, sir.
And that one, Conclusion of Illusion, is kind of written about something to do with Stonehaven Festival, shall we say. You know the man.
We are running a tiny bit slow today, so if I'm right, Jason, we're only going to take a 3-minute break before we crack on again. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Just time for a cuppa.
Yeah, everyone, if you want to grab a cup of quick toilet break and get on back, we'll get ready for Paul. But literally blew away our first half. Thank you ever so much, Finn.
Finn, I just want to say you're encouraging us to take to the streets. Thank you, my friend.
Absolute. Yeah, beautifully booked. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Right on.
It's all just fun. I do it all just for fun. I remember this conversation with Kathy Carson years ago, and I said, you know what? It's fun. I do it all for fun. And I just, most fun I have when I'm doing it.
We love you for it.
Rock on, Finn.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you all anyway. Thank you.
Yeah, let's have a cuppa.
Just waiting for people to return, and then we'll get cracking with the second half. Once Jason is back, we'll get cracking on to our second half. Oh, funny enough, you call and he comes. Hey. Thank you for a wonderful show so far, everyone. Ooh. Got it. So I just got a little note. Yeah. We'll be re-kicking in a minute. Fantastic. Okay, if everybody is ready for our second half, we will get the recording going and I'll do a quick check on housekeeping again and all the updates and we'll get cracking on. Oop. Yep, we're recording and we're good to go. Welcome to the second half, everyone. Thank you so much. And also, I hope everyone really enjoyed Finn because I know I did. It was fantastic. So, just a quick bit of housekeeping, especially for people who've joined us mid of the first half. Please mute for each poet. You can clap after they have read. People sharing absolutely lovely comments, so please continue doing that. The event is being recorded, so please only share poems you are happy to class as being ready for publishing. We've had some fiery pieces to say tonight, so if you're happy sticking them on there, please do, because we love to hear them. Open mic poets, please keep to your 3-minute slot. Unfortunately, because of the way we've run tonight, we can't do any last minute add-ons, unfortunately. As it happens, I'm actually going to skip my second poem just to save us on time. We've got to keep this train rolling. But yes, please keep to your 3-minute slot. And please use the chat to share your bios, books, and events. People have been doing that. And please continue doing so. It's lovely to support each other. And the Gloucestershire Poetry Society is a volunteer-led society. Please spare a donation. Jason is putting notes into the chat so you can find out more about it. Or consider becoming a society member. And lastly, for next time, for next month, Crafty Crow's April 2025 edition will have the feature of Rian Brooke, and then May event will feature Beth Brooke, no relation. So, roaring into our second half, and our second headliner is Paul Richmond. Paul, let me read your bio and get ready for the mic. So, Paul Richmond was awarded Beat Poet Laureate by the National Beat Poetry Foundation for Massachusetts 2017 to 2019, USA 2019 to 2020, and Lifetime 2022, which is absolutely massive. He performs nationally and internationally, solo and with Do It Now. Paul has 8 books, and more information can be found on www.humanerrorpublishing.com. Paul, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go, and what amazing people to follow. Just great to say thank you, everyone. And I was looking to see what I was going to read, and as I was hearing each person, I was like, oh, I should read my other poem that's related to their poem. And then, but here we go. We're going to just do whatever we can to let you see what I have. The first one's going to be from a book called, as you mentioned, I have 8 books. I'm also a publisher. I've published about 77 other writers. I do lots of different events, but I'll talk more about that later. This book is called The 24-Hour Store Was Closed. And we had them in Buffalo, New York. I think they started there. And then I always wondered when I went by, what is the world going to end if I went by and the 24-hour store was closed? This one's called What's the Plan? When the camera zooms in, a politician is being interviewed about the gathering in the center of town. With all the loud drumming, late into the night, people dancing around the bonfire naked. The politician would ask, do they have a plan? When the camera zooms in, we do see people naked. We hear loud drumming. Some say they are dancing. To an untrained eye, it looks like people are jumping around naked. To the beat of the drums, the politician is asked, do your constituents of naked people have anything to offer besides the present situation looking doomed? The politician says, well, there has been a talk of a plan. There were meetings of vision, committees of what could be, what steps we need to take, what we need to make happen. Now was the hard part, making it happen. How to bring people together to make it happen. It was suggested that possibly dancing naked around a fire to loud drumming was not for everyone. One of the naked dancers was asked, would you be willing to compromise by putting on some clothes if that would bring more people to your group? Well, they said, we've had lots of arguments, and once you start putting on some clothes, who knows where it's going to stop from there. It wouldn't stop, and the drumming continues, and the drumming got louder, and the politician ended the interview by saying, this is a small group until more join the circle, or they may pay me more money. I have nothing else further to say. The police will be sent in, for they are disturbing the peace. And when the police showed up, everyone agreed they needed a plan. This one is from my book called Swimming Lessons on the Titanic. The back says, the ship is sinking. The captain's lifeboat left long ago. The water's lapping on your ankles is rising. Many have made their way to the bar. I have decided to give swimming lessons. I am hopeful. I hope to make a few dollars. This one is called Culture. People say they have a culture. I don't have a culture. My culture was lost at immigration. My names were changed. My languages were discontinued. Where Polish and Prussian and Russia were not discussed. Where being Catholic or Jewish defined your team. And what if you were both? Whose team are you on? Grandma had the strange smell, made weird sounds we didn't understand. She grabbed us in her strong arms and squeezed us tight, put coins into our little hands. There was nothing before being here now. There is no history to learn from. Try not to act Polish. Don't act Russian. And we don't even know where Prussia is. Lose that accent. Lose that accent. Did you hear us? The languages the language was structured differently. Jokes were made of how Polacks talked. Throw the baby out the bathwater. Throw the horse over the fence some hay. The Polacks are stupid. You're not your past. You're not your past. Now, new arrivals to the neighborhood were told on arrival, stop wearing those colorful clothes. That's screaming out that you're Polish. Look American. Buy your clothes at J.C. Penney's. Look like people in the Look magazine and Life magazine. Look American. I joined the hippie culture. I wore the outfits to play the part. We were told we're not allowed to create your own culture. As with Polish jokes, the counterculture soon had its own stereotypes. Long hair, barefoot, dirty, sex crazed, stoned, doesn't want to work. We asked what was wrong with that. Today, excuse me, today, Our sense of identity is being trapped in our choices about our sexuality. LBGQLAI, if you ask me, I try to keep Tuesdays open. Identifies are created by which people you eat. Which foods do you eat? Do you have a social media following? Who likes you? Why doesn't Betty Lou give me any hearts on Facebook? I have no grounding in any culture. And today I'm told I'm appropriating other cultures, so I belong to no one. I know very little about being Polish, Russian. I only hear about my relatives in Poland throwing rocks at tanks when I saw the pictures in National Geographic. Everyone made jokes, laughing. Why would you throw rocks at tanks? They had nothing else to fight with. They were going down. They weren't going down without a fight. I'm told that my ancestors fought and killed each other over many generations, hated each other, tried to exterminate each other. As my mother and father, representing all of this, we were brought together in one of the factories that Americans were all told they were all Americans, where you have to be in part of the melting pot. When we have lost all traces of where we were originated from, where I wander lost now, in the graveyard of buried cultures, I wander lost. This one's called, this is from my book, The Ice Cream Melted. And this was about the theme about goddesses. You call me your goddess. If I am your goddess, why do you abuse me with your pedestals, with your standards of beauty, with your laws against my body, with systematics and ways of keeping me dependent, with your violence and frustration, with your ownership, defining my sexuality, defining the roles you want me to play in your movies? You call me your goddess one day and trash me the next. You call me goddess, expecting me to be honored in my slavery. You call me goddess instead of calling me by my name, seeing me for who I am, loving me for who I am. The goddess that seduces the gods, Medusa, who turns everything into stone. I am a complicated sauce and a bitter and sweet. If I am your goddess, then you will have to accept all parts of me. You will have to see me free. You may call me goddess. I am not your goddess. I belong to me. This one, just checking time here. Okay, good. This one is a little girl approached. A little girl approached the media. She was asked, "Are you Muslim? Are you Jewish? Are you Catholic, Protestant, atheist? Do you believe that a frog can turn into a prince?" She said, "I'm hungry." The cameras asked again, "Are you Jewish? Are you Muslim? Are you Hindu? Are you Buddhist? Do you believe that a frog turns into a prince?" She said, "No, I am hungry." "Are you?" "I am starving. I am starving." And when they looked up from their cameras, she was gone. On a lighter note, information desk. "Hello. Yes, how can I help you?" "I need some information." "Yes, that's why I'm here, sir. What can I help you with?" "Where to start?" "Well, let me show you the map, sir. Here you are, right here." "Yes, there I am." "Yes. No, I mean, you see, you're right here on the map. You're right here. Where do you want to go?" I find myself asking that every day. Why go anywhere? "Well, sir, there are so many places to go. Why not go shopping?" "I don't really need anything." "Well, there's all these restaurants." "Well, I'm not hungry, and most of them don't sell real food." "You could go out and see the sunset." "Yeah, I've seen it before." "Well, it is different every day, sir." Why are we always at war? I don't know that, sir. Would you like to know where cheese on everything is? Because they have a special today. No extra cost for cheese on everything. Why are we always torturing people, and why are people always inventing new ways of hurting people? I don't know that, sir. Why are people so afraid of pleasure? Well, sir, if you're looking for pleasure, we do have hands-on massage on the fourth floor, and I think they have some openings today. Would you like me to set up an appointment for you? Will they know? Well, you have to tell them, sir. Do you have a bad back, a stiff neck? I want to know why people are always finding ways to create separation between themselves and nature. I mean, believe that they somehow are superior to others. Sir, if you need those kinds of questions, there's a spiritual bookstore on the third floor. You might find a book up there for you. Why are we abusing and destroying our planet and covering it in concrete? Listen, sir, the plant store is on the first floor and they have a sale on large house plants. You know, when things are looking down, I like the plants that have really nice fragrances. Will that save the bees? Will that stop poisoning our water, our lifeblood? Sir, if you're looking for water, freshwater bottling is on the first floor down the hall, and they'll even carry the bottles out for you to your car. Isn't that nice? That's nice. You know, it's nice to talk to someone. Well, sir, if you're looking for someone to talk to, we do have Talk to a Friend, and they're on the second floor, and you can see them. And oh, wait a minute, they don't have any openings, not until next Friday, sir. What day is it today? Today is a day to talk about sports. That's on the fourth floor. Every day is a good day to talk about sports, sir. Listen, I thought sports were about honoring the skills, being amazed at all the best moves. Now it's all military propaganda. All that commentary sexualized and brutalized. The conquest of all that matters. If games are what you want, sir, listen, you should go upstairs to the fifth floor. They have a great arcade up there, and they have lots of machines for you to play all kinds of games. I don't want to play any games. You should try them, sir. They can be fun. I've lost my desire for fun. Seeing the destruction around me, I just want to close my eyes. Well, sir, if you need your eyes checked, you should go up to the fourth floor because they have a great place for viewing your eyes, and right next door you can buy glasses. Isn't that convenient? Listen, I don't need to see this in HD, okay? Totally understand, sir. You know what? Speaking in all this time of the world, and on the fourth floor, I like to go to the other world. They have those best virtual world glasses, where you just wireless up there and you immerse yourself in wild areas and see all kinds of things. I'm sorry, sir. I don't, you're not interested in that? No, no, no. They're closing. Listen, sir, we're closing soon, sir. And there's an information kiosk out in the parking lot. Yeah, I was there already. Sir, I suggest before we close that you go to I Need Help. They're on the first floor, okay? And obviously, you're not accepting what's going on. And for some reason, you keep thinking that things are going to change. I believe I used to have those feelings once in a while too. But after they gave me those little red pills, I don't feel any of that anymore. Sir, are you listening to me? Sir, where are you going, sir? Sir, you're going in the wrong direction. No, no, sir, that's not where I need help is. No, no, that's where the cannabis dispensaries are and the liquor stores. And no, no, yeah, there's a couple churches down there too and a rehab place. Okay, the rehab. That's where you're going, sir. All right, well, have a good day. Let's see. What do I have in terms of time here? We're good, I guess. Two more in there, somewhere in there. Yep. Okay. This is gross. This is since you brought this up on one of the Finn, you talking about being 70. This is a grocery bagger at 70. Applying at my local grocery store to bag groceries at 70. On the application, I write down I was an artist, a poet, a performer at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, crisscrossed the United States, featured at festivals on main stages, traveled internationally, performed in Sweden, Hungary, Senegal. At the interview, I was asked, did I know not to put eggs at the bottom of the bottom? Did I know that tomatoes can be crushed with canned goods? Did I know that putting all the cold items together helped keep them cold and to not put them on top of the peaches? Did I know to bag the fish and the meat in their separate bags to keep the bacteria away from each other? And did I know not to put the bread and bakery items on the bottom? Finally, I could manage only having 2 bathroom breaks and no eating snacks on the job. On the trial run, I was way over time. On bagging a mock-up grocery sale, I was told not to spend so much time trying to arrange things artistically, and that colors didn't matter. Coordination was not the point. After a few days of training, I was ready for the front lines, where I was told not to talk to customers. They weren't interested in hearing my poems. And I was told not to tell people not to buy items I thought were bad for them. It's not my business. If someone was only buying gallons of ice cream and donuts and cases of diet soda, and especially not to mention that items were cheaper down the block. I lasted long enough to finally meet Mrs. Jones. The day she chose my register to check out, I had seen her walking her dog around the loop at our assisted living complex. Here she was, handing me her homemade cloth bag. Our eyes met. I knew this was fate bringing us together. Grateful for this opportunity to meet, as I put her groceries in her bag, I whispered my recipes for tomatoes, zucchini, and hot peppers. That was the last bag of groceries I bagged. I was fired. That evening, though, we celebrated, me and Mrs. Jones, with a scrumptious meal while she read her poetry and I read her mine. Let's see. Yeah, it was inspiring listening to everybody. Here's one because of our time. Optimistic. I was optimistic when I fought against the Vietnam War. I was optimistic when I fought against nuclear power. I was optimistic when Earth Day was created. And I was optimistic when I fought for women's rights. I was optimistic when the Clean Water Act passed. And I was optimistic when our side won the election. I was optimistic when I won the court case. And I was optimistic after the operation. I was optimistic when they said they would give me another chance. And I was optimistic when the engine started. I was optimistic when I said I was next in line. I was optimistic when the sun came out. And I was optimistic when I could walk again. I was optimistic when my team scored. And I was optimistic when they said they had a cure. I was optimistic when I got the job. And I was optimistic on that first kiss. I was really optimistic on that first kiss. But just to let you know, I'm still optimistic.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can say with great optimism, sir, they have absolutely loved you. Thank you so, so, so much. Um, as I always say, if you want to open your mics and send a little bit of celebration Paul's way, please do, for being an absolutely stonking second half highlight. Yeah, we go. That's the sound I'm looking for. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. I'm so glad you did the second too. What a piece to end on as well. I'm still optimistic. Oh, I love it.
Paul, can I just ask? Obviously, I loved it. I absolutely adored it. Which book, I mean, would you recommend to someone who wants to just get into your work?
I can't believe you could live without not having all of them. But
I want to start somewhere.
I don't know. Let's see. I guess the names of the books I'll put the thing up there in terms of where you can go to get them. They're all on Amazon everywhere,
Yeah,
but
I'll be checking. I'll be checking on Amazon.
for the Human
You
Publishing.
you've got quite a few on there, so I'm really, really chuffed. I've got my basket is nearly full. I'm on. I've done Finn's books. He's got loads.
Yeah, that the 24-hour store being closed is a good one. Each of them have different kind of areas, as I'm sure all of you do, in terms of a book that comes out. There you go, the swimming lessons on the Titanic. The most recent one is the one that was put out by the Beat Association of the ice cream melting. In terms of that, as far as that. Check out. I have a YouTube channel too. I work with a band. That's who I showcased at the Edinburgh Festival with was this group called Do It Now. It's
Wow.
myself and a person on two people on the guitar and percussionists on a balafon, and we do a lot of it's kind of the same stuff that you heard me just do now, but there's music to it. So
Oh wow. Yes. Can you put the link
I will. I'll put the
on
links.
chat?
I'll put the links in the chat the thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I loved it. Adored it.
Yeah, it went by so fast. I was like, oh, wow, okay, I'm going to read this one. But then all of a sudden, there it was. And so another time. And thanks so much for having me and having this time. And it's been a pleasure listening to all of you for sure.
Oh,
Been an absolute pleasure, Paul. And it flies. It really, really flies. And you're like, ooh, where'd off the time go? But we are so grateful. And what a stonking double headline set. Well, with our dear left open mic poets to perform, Alan, would you be happy to join us and take on the mic? Ooh, Alan, can you hear me?
Yes, hello. So I'll just do the one.
Yes.
I think we're all worried about the sad situation in the world. I think if we could all stop fighting each other and tackle what we need to tackle. So I'm just going to read the one, if that's okay, which is actually one I put on the private Facebook site, which is what we hope to tell our grandchildren. We came close to a world without elephants, with a great rainforest denuded of trees. Found we'd miss the sweet fragrance of flowering plants if we killed off our good friends the bees. We imagined a rainbow of just 3 shades of grey, if life's colours were sold for false gain, as we guzzled the gas in our mad dash for cash and ignored the created world's pain. We awoke to sad fields of storm-flattened corn, fear of no sheaves to rejoice bringing in. Grew deserts, watched ice melt, had no winter snows. In our seas found few whales or dolphin. Saw parched crops in tired rows meant no produce shows, and no food on the table to share. Gone sweet tucked in dreams, painting gathered field scenes, if each day brought a living nightmare. We saw countless coastslides of crumbling cliffs, beaches God made for your fun washed away. In an empty wild world with no fish in the seas, saw no catch would be landed each day. Plastic oceans would flow, and only stormy winds blow, gone the caress of a gentle sea breeze. Woke to how much we loved you, so cleaned up our act, to leave the real thing, not dodo memories.
Absolutely beautiful, Alan. And actually beautifully on theme, but softer led, drawing us in quite nicely to Lucia. Now, I saw your note from earlier. If there is problems with your mic, yes, please feel free to put a copy of the poem in the chat so people can follow through. But thank you, Alan. Lucia, if you would like to take the mic, it's yours.
Thank you. One poem for tonight, No Name by Lucia Ramos. Doesn't matter how is today, waiting for a new day, and you will see the cosmos will share its face, and something unexpected will happen. The universe will be crossed by a strong white light. The darkness will disappear. The man will have wings and will fly, like in a yellow dream of our minds. He will be in a competition with the indestructible wind, and the peace will be proclaimed everywhere. A leaf in a coffee will color our soul, because the ugliness and bad things will fall in the sea of forgetfulness, and the beauty will be shy, because its shadow will dance under our eyes. But you don't believe me. You will say about me that I am mad, and she is mad like she can say the sun will rise in the north, and the Black Sea is yellow. How can I make you to believe me? How? But I'm walking with my life between a blue forest and orange happiness. Do you see? The light of the cosmos is there, trying to fill your heart, and the peace will be proclaimed everywhere. Yes, the peace will be proclaimed everywhere. Thank you.
Beautifully read, Lucia, and also congratulations on your new book.
Thank you.
Please, I know you've got it as your lovely background, but please put links so everyone can join in and add to their libraries. Right, he's had the shout, but Sunshine Ed, fantastic. The screen is yours if you'd like it, sir.
Thank you, our wonderful host I love the most that deserves a toast, that never boasts. And I want to say thank you, our awe-inspiring features with your impactful poetry. Keep on showing the world your wisdom and glee. Thank you so very much. Hello, my name is Ed Potasco, Unfitted Fantastic. Please tell me to join my rhyme, Favo Sublime. I got one poem, so I won't take too much time. The first poem is called Positive Negativity. Blood is thick in the water, the concept I ponder. My father's never there, with all compassion to spare. My bullies attack with hits of blue and black. My girlfriend cheated on me without a hint of remorse but glee. Negativity can shape you in many different ways. The trauma can stick like glue, or make you open as a cascade. Negativity is absent of understanding, or perspectives reaching a misunderstanding. Two wrongs can't make it right. Life isn't about vengeance and spite. Day by day, people get lost in the rain, trying to do what they can to silence the pain. The remedy is take negativity and change it. Why not make it a phenomenal hit? People forget we're all in this together. Why not learn, help, or make life even better? Thank you so very much.
Short, sweet, powerful, poignant. Beautifully done, Ed. Thank you ever so much. Catherine Hislop, hey. Brand new face for me. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
The app and mic is
You
yours.
can hear me all right, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Well,
I call this one Going Nowhere. So, you and I are lucky just to be alive. Each day our roads kill 5 humans. And we can't forget our animals. It's painful, it's murder, it's carnal. We mutter, you matter. Economy is king. We have A&E, blue lights, and at Christmas time we sing. Rising, gathering, preparing to fight on. We fought for this against all that. We must lobby and arouse. On socials, media, everything's allowed. Shout it to the blue sky sun. Keep it in the cloud. Juggernauts jitter jolt, seeking shelves. Goodbye, cheerio. We have ourselves food to buy. Taking stock. Get the lot. Parking up. Got legs? Lock up.
fabulous, Catherine. Thank you so much, and welcome. You might have done Crafty before and I hadn't noticed, but thank you. Lovely to meet you, may I say.
Lovely to meet you.
And moving on to Chris Hemmings. Oh, hey. Lovely to meet you too.
Hello.
You're brand new to me as well. Hi.
Hello there. I was just trying to frantically post a link to my book before I came on, but I'll do that afterwards.
Not a problem. You're absolutely fine to pop a note in as you go along.
Yeah.
But yeah, lovely to meet you. Your
Yeah,
mic
cool.
is yours, sir.
Thank you. I heard a couple of poems from this book. It was a topical poetry book from 2018, but obviously there isn't a use by date with topical poetry nowadays, sadly. This one is called Hush. Hush. Follow my hand, my silencing hand. These pages could scatter on the wind. These words could grow quiet, but I will not point a finger. Raised, as if manicured. Look hard enough, and you can see your fortunes flicker on the fingernails of my silencing hand. Thank you. And the second one, this was also kind of taking this, I don't know, trying to, as a lot of people have done tonight, try and write about what do you do in a situation where being creative and being humane just seems to be bad for business. This one's called Resting a Calligraphy Brush. In a pause between words, at a station of ideas, a melting pot, or the appearance of one. The brush is rested to let him draw, at the very least, inspiration. In a time without words, even then, these markings could pause us in our dark-bound tracks, lit by faces, gathering on bridges, stepping away from him, from the glowering mountain stumps. Thank you.
Wow, that's so lovely.
Delightful. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
I was going to say, just as I move to Richard, please keep your book held up for us so we can everyone see. And yeah, if you can find your Amazon link or Lulu link or anything you're using to sell, please do, because we'd love to see more of your book. And
there's Awakening and there's Iconic Tattoo. I put the link in earlier. It's Stairwell Books of York, or you can get them on Amazon. You can Barnes and Noble. I think they're talking about discontinuing them. So if you want them, particularly in England, you need to get them soon. But there you go. I've just got one poem. I've just lost my place now. But I was going to do a longer one, but I cut it down to a shorter one. And this is for Genevieve because she says she likes my storytelling. So it's a children's story. And it's the duck who thought he was a puffin.
Oh.
I don't know how his egg got lost, but it did. It should have been in a nest, but it was not. It was in a burrow quite deep, it was. So why did this matter, you say? Well, let me tell you, I pray. Bertie was a duck, a great big duck. What's wrong with that? Nothing, except he was born in a burrow and thought he was a puffin so fine. He looked around and puffins saw, so he thought he was one of them. The one that sat on his egg, kept it warm, thought she was his mum, was quite forlorn. She thought she had the ugliest puffin baby in the world, but her love unfurled. He really was all brown and no beautiful coloured beak did he have. Bertie learned to fly like a puffin flies. He did not go far, and Bertie grew and he grew, and he could not fit in the burrow now. He perched on the ledge of the cliff, and even on this did not fit properly. His mother was very upset. She could not sleep with her baby. One day, in a great big storm, Bertie was alone and all forlorn, when a flock of ducks flew by. He looked at them flying so high and did sigh. And then one lady duck flew down and asked him why he was all alone. He said he was a puffin too big to fit where a puffin should fit. She told him he was wrong. And with wings so fine and strong, he should have known that he was a duck extraordinaire and not a puffin at all. He realised that she told the truth and that he should fly south with them. She was such a lovely girl, that his heart filled so fast with love. He shouted goodbye to his mum, and off he went flying so strong. He looked all around and knew that with them he did belong. How great that he should find his own kind. When he was ready with his lady to have eggs and then some babies, he made very sure his eggs did not go astray, that his lady did them lay where he could keep them safe and sound, and they could never by a puffin be found. I haven't performed that one for a long time, but the one I was going to do was a bit longer, so I thought, well, what is shorter? So I hope you enjoyed that. Genevieve keeps encouraging me to tell these stories, and I have a lot of them. You know, I do lots of children's events, and they like them. You know, and quite often suggest the subjects. You know, do you have one about a knight? Do you have one about a pony and all this lot? You know. And I did one about a cart horse and three little ponies, and I performed at the Freedom Festival. And we got in a workshop with 3 young women students, and they said, a feminist empowerment poem. And I said, yes, just run me by that and explain how. So I'll do that another time anyway. Yeah.
Oh no, it's wonderful, Richard. It really is. And actually, I will always encourage you because I love seeing you smile and the twinkle in your eye as you share your work. And actually, the more you've put yourself out there with different places, the more that you're finding places that really, really celebrate and, yeah, just cheer you on with your work. So I think keep going and keep smiling and keep writing your wonderful stories. We have something very fun coming up in November time, very early November time.
Yes, we're doing one together. In Blot Like a Blue, the Halloween thing. And I've been booked for another headliner following the one I did last week. So that's good. That's in Canada, I think. But it's amazing with all this globalization, isn't it? You know. Yes. Right. Thank you. I'll shut up now.
No, you're right. Thank you ever so much.
Oh no, we're running over. You know.
No, we're all right. As it happens, I've just had a little note because we've had some people who were set for the second half that have actually rolled on. So what I'm going to say is actually 2 very quick requests. We can probably do one piece, but Kate, if you were happy to do a piece, you are actually welcome to jump on the mic.
Mute. Okay, I'm here. Okay, where did it go? Hello. Thank you so much. Am I unmuted? Yes. Hello. Oh, so as things are changing, we are all listening. And I listen from my yard that looks out over the Front Range of Colorado, mostly up into the sky at night. Late last night, I stood in the darkness of night, staring with a crooked neck up to clear the brightness of an ancient gallery of named constellations. To my awe was a continuous line of methodically spaced satellites traveling east from northern Colorado. Oh no, it's true. They've abandoned all the men that attend from the ground and give out the word, and it's all been replaced by satellites. The trained experts have been removed from their post. May the renegade train, masked as government, be stopped in its tracks. Thank you.
Beautifully done, Kate. And thank you for jumping on so late in the game with that. But I'm glad we got a chance to hear you. And very quickly, Marita, if you'd like to do a single piece, I know I've just sent you a message. You're welcome to. And Jason will bring us to our end. Marita, can you hear me at all? Jason, I think you bring us to our close then.
Okay, two very short ones I'll squeeze in. Both about the attack of generative AI on the creative industry. The first one is called Effortless. Imagine a world where no brush is loaded with paint, or pens bled of ink. No process is travelled, and no minds need to think. And the last one is an adapted quote from Henry V. I think it's quite fitting, especially with Gen AI on creative writing currently, the threat. It's called Unsheathed for Tech Bros Arguments. Once more unto the data breach, dear friends, once more, or close up the wall with our English dead. Thank you.
Nice, short, sweet, and very pointed. I love it. Thank you very much, everybody. I know that people are dashing on because I know with our site overrun. Thank you so much for being patient with us today. To our two absolutely brilliant headliners, to Finn Hall and Paul Richmond. Thank you so much for being absolutely stonking, speaking truth to power in particular, which I think we've all really appreciated, and for warming our spirits. As time goes on, we repeat some of the same mistakes, but actually having voices from across history say to us, hey, we can fight back, we can carry on, we can keep going. And actually it led to a lot of fiery poetry tonight, which I really appreciate. So a big applause to all of you. Thank you very much for an absolutely glorious day. Join us back in April, and really thank you for a wonderful night.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you much, all.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Please come
Bye,
back.
everyone.
Thank
It
you,
was
Genevieve and
wonderful.
Jason, for
Thank you very much for having me.
so
Great
well
to hear
and
everybody.
organising it all.
Yeah.
Be well. Glad to have visited. Thank you.
Thank you. Please come again.
Please come again, and thank you very much, Jason, for allowing me to host tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure, and to have two rocking headliners and a wonderful set of poets has been glorious. I shall let you all free. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Wonderful.
Signing off.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Take care.
Jason, send the links. I'll be back.
Will do.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.